Hey, what's up, y'all? It's D. About to react to this video by Top 5 Troy. It's titled Every Drake Diss on Iceman Actually Explained. Please break it down for us. Whatever happened to that one dude, What's the Dirt? Does he make videos? I know people had start going in on him. And maybe he stopped making videos for that reason. Ooh, yeah, he ain't been making videos in a minute. They dragged him through the mud. I guess that scared him, child. Because he used to always do these videos. I used to react to them. Y'all remember? And now he has stopped. Oh, my God. He ain't doing no more breakdowns. Anyway, let's see what Troy's talking about with this new Iceman. I already reacted to this on Patreon, by the way. Check out my reaction if you like. There were a few disses that I pointed out, some that I speculated, he's talking about this person or that person. I didn't point out every single one though. Listen, this album was already long as hell. I know I had 3 whole albums to react to, so I didn't pause every time I heard a diss. But I'm sure there still are some that I miss. But yeah, let's see what he has to say though. Let's watch.
Alright, so this new Iceman album by Drake is full of shots, full of disses. So let's get into every single diss that was on Iceman explained by
some of them I also caught the second, third, fourth time I listened to it as well, that I didn't catch the first time or that I didn't even hear. There were some parts of the music videos that didn't include all of the songs because I did react to a lot of the music videos and I just assumed it was the full song, but when I went back and heard some of them, I was like, oh wait, this song is longer on the album than it was on the music video. I don't know why he did it like that. He should have played the whole fucking song on those music videos. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. So I definitely caught more disses the more I listened to it.
Let's go. There's so many people dissed on this album. We just gonna start with the owner of TDE himself, Anthony Top Dog Tiffith, on the song Make Them Cry.
Random intrusive thought, but what happened to Taz's Angels?
Drake says, what happened to Taz's Angels? Now, Taz's Angel, a former modeling agency who got caught up in some crimes.
The FBI raided their mansion in Miami. There was allegations of sex working.
But Drake admittedly makes a very off-ball reference to them, like, yo, what happened to those people? And it almost seems innocent until you dig a little deeper. One of the former Taz's Angels, her name was Ashley Martell, and she had formerly accused Anthony Top Dog Tiffith, the CEO of TDE, of abuse. So here's a photo of her battered eye. I'll kind of censor that out.
See, and some of the disses, it takes you knowing all this background info, which I don't fucking know. I definitely don't keep up with a lot of these people, so there are some things that I'm not gonna know, like this, for example, because I'm not digging deep into fucking Kendrick's associates. Like, what? I don't even know nothing about Top Dog.
Safe for YouTube. But yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that Drake randomly mentions Taz's Angels when one of the former models, who's still pretty Instagram famous at this point, formerly accused Top Dog of abuse. Hey y'all, I am a one-man show. I record, edit the video.
Y'all subscribe, support. I know he's talking about Kendrick Lamar.
On the song Dust, Drake says, what was the year they said you had slaps? Because I don't remember it going like that.
Since 2009, I had this bitch jumping.
This appears to be Drake referencing Kendrick's bar on Not Like Us. Drake is directly questioning that. Like, 2009, I don't remember.
Don't do that. Kendrick has slaps, but whatever.
Popping in that year, Kendrick. Drake will go on to say, I don't remember one word of your raps. I don't know nothing about you on them tracks. Now, as you can imagine, Kendrick Lamar caught most of the disses on this Iceman album. On Whisper My Name, Drake's my white label had to go white label when he stepped out his body and finally got hot. So even in these disses towards Kendrick Lamar, Drake is saying, yo, you did well, like you got hot, like I'll give you your props. But here Drake takes aim at his label, UMG, his white label, white-owned label, saying they went white label. Now, if we dig just a little bit deeper into the meaning of white label, a white label is a product or service that's made by one company, and then
we already know about this shit. But here's the thing: I feel like he's taking the talking points of Aubrey's Angels, because that has been their whole thing too, is them saying that, oh, Kendrick wasn't even popping like that before this beef, and oh, he never even had no hits like that, and trying to discredit this man when it's like, y'all are trying to rewrite history when we were all there. If you keep up with rap and hip-hop, we all saw Kendrick's shine, so you don't have to try to lie like we wasn't there seeing him win Grammys and him being like wildly successful successful, you know, at different parts of his career. So it's wild that people are acting like they forgot.
Branded and sold by a different company under their own.
Saying he finally got hot is crazy work. Like, huh? The fact that they even consider him a part of the big three, that alone is proof that he was already hot. In order to be in the big three, you're the top 3 rappers of all time who are currently alive right now, like who are active. So that alone means that he was already hot. Like it's ridiculous for people to pretend that Kendrick wasn't, you know, a force, you know, and that he wasn't popular prior to this beef. It's like, what? So for Drake to kind of lean into this is ridiculous, but whatever. I'm gonna stop pausing it so much because this video is already long.
So it seems like Drake is looking at Kendrick like, hey, UMG hand selected you to replace me, and that's the only reason you got hot. White label. On the song Whisper My Name, Drake says,
This ain't
this ain't fixable smoke when you see us. I'll sit in with Farrakhan.
It's like the bag that you bring on the plane. It's gonna carry on.
So Minister Farrakhan has infamously squashed a lot of hip-hop beefs. He would make certain rappers, certain entertainers, black entertainers, come and meet with him to squash whatever public issues they had together. Drake is saying, yo, not even sitting with Farrakhan is going to help that. Like, this is something that we're going to carry on forever.
And this is a very common theme throughout the album that I pointed out a lot. I said I'm gonna stop pausing. But him saying, like, it's up for life. Like, he's not forgiving anybody, like many people, and obviously Kendrick is at the top of that list. But yeah, he's not letting this go.
Between us. So maybe one of the more direct shots towards Kendrick on Iceman was on the song Janice STFU.
White kids listen to you because they feel some guilt, and that's how your soul gets fulfilled.
So here Drake is jamming at Kendrick's fan base. When we saw at the pop-out show was a lot of non-black kids, a lot of white kids, which is kind of the reverse of how Kendrick portrays it in his music. The culture, black culture, this and that. I mean, I'm just giving you guys.
First off, a lot of these people are Mexican. Get it the fuck right. And we are in Los Angeles. There are a lot of Mexicans here. So that is not surprising or, you know, shocking whatsoever. So to be like, oh, looking at the pop-up. No, that's not proof of anything. If you actually look closer at those videos, there's a lot of Mexicans in the video because we have a very, very large Mexican population here. We have a cool amount of black people, but we have a lot of Mexicans here. So, what?
Perspective here. And Drake is saying those white kids that are there, they're not even there because they like your music like that. They're there to help fulfill this white guilt because they get to listen to you rap about the black plight and things of that.
It's ridiculous.
And here Drake tries to point out some type of hypocrisy, saying you hand out turkeys on camera in your hood. So you're handing out turkeys in Compton for these holiday giveaways.
And then go back to the hood. Where else is he supposed to go? I mean, go back to the hills. That's where he lives. What do you want him to live in Compton? That don't make no sense. You don't live in the trenches of Toronto.
Doing it on camera, so it's fake.
All right, no more pause.
You're not doing it out the kindness of your heart. You're doing it for public relations, for PR. Then you go back to the hills, which is like the rich part of LA.
How many houses you build?
Drake is attempting to point out some type of hypocrisy within Kendrick. Drake seems to believe that Kendrick portrays himself as some sort of savior who's going to, help people and save the hood. So Drake is saying, like, okay, where are the results of that? On Shebang, Drake says,
Don't even recognize none of these names at the top of the charts. I look.
and as of the week that Iceman came out, there are very few hip-hop records in the charts. In that same verse, Drake goes on to say,
Last one you dropped was shit. I did press play on that hoe. Mid, skip.
it was mid, I skipped a lot of records. He's talking about GNX. So he's doing a critical breakdown of GNX.
Lies.
It's mid, there's a lot of skips. The album wasn't that good, he's saying. Thus is why I don't recognize any names currently on the Billboard charts.
And now they got a new goal and we got to test the position.
So this is from the song Make Them Pay. Drake says, we got a new GOAT. We got to test the position. He's talking about Kendrick. Apparently you're the new GOAT. You replaced me, allegedly, because of the Not Like Us. This is what people say. So you replaced me. All right, so let's test it.
Who is this guy for real? I guess a magician. 100 million streams vanished. No one got questions for niggas.
So he's looking at Kendrick like, okay, so you're supposed to be the new GOAT. You're supposed to be the guy now that you took me down. But we don't see you, right? Like a magician. He vanishes. He doesn't drop music. He disappears like a musician pulling a rabbit out of the hat. Oh, and plus those streams. there's this whole allegation that Kendrick and other TDE artists were botting streams and they lost millions upon millions of streams when Spotify did a bot purge. He says no one got questions for these guys. And to Drake's credit, it's hard to tell if that allegation is even true because no one asks directly about that specific allegation. Punch, the president of TDE, he did go on a Joe Budden podcast, and Joe Budden asked him, but not about the 100 million streams directly. Joe Budden asked Punch, do you bot streams? Which, of course, everyone would say no because botting streams is against pretty much every streaming service's terms of service. Mm-hmm. So no one is going to come out and admit, oh yeah, we bot streams, right? You get your music taken off services. But the specific point of 100 million streams allegedly vanishing, to Drake's credit, no one asks about this.
Way I did by the 6, run out of 6, just like it did.
So this bar from National Treasure is referencing Kendrick going to Toronto and performing Not Like Us.
I saw Canadian fans wearing shirts that said Canadians do not F with Drake.
Everyone came out to see if Kendrick would actually put his foot on the pedal regarding Not Like Us in Drake's hometown. And this is something that Drake is going to reference a couple times on Iceman. Yeah, he came to Toronto the 6th, and he performed these records, but he bolted out of there quick.
Yeah, I remember reacting to that video where they claimed that Kendrick, like, hurry up and left fast.
There are videos of Kendrick having like a 20, 30 plus police escort. Once he was finished with the show, he got out of Toronto immediately with a police escort straight to the airport. Now, obviously, I think that's the smart thing to do. I think the smart thing to do would have not to go into Toronto to begin with. But yeah, if you're going to go there, don't hang around.
Why was TPS at my crib until you was slid? It is what it is.
And then Drake goes on to say, why was TPS, which is like Toronto's police department, why were they at my crib, at my house, posted, watching me until y'all finished your show? So Drake is accusing Kendrick of having the police sit there and watch his house until he got out of Toronto. Is it true? I don't know. But this is what Drake is saying.
Body more hand tap, I did more damage off a body blow.
On the same song, National Treasures, Drake says, all these dudes want a head tap, but I did more off a body blow. So this appears to be referencing Euphoria.
Headshots for the year. You better walk around like Daft Punk.
Oh, this shit was so hard.
Headshot for the year. Y'all better walk around like Daft Punk. Drake is saying like, yeah, all y'all want the headshot, you want the head tap. I'm doing more damage to you just off the body blow. Little boxing reference.
I'm fighting a man, I'm suing a rapper, you was not listening.
So this bar's from Bees on the Table. It's alluding to Drake's lawsuit with UMG, where a lot of people see the lawsuit
Kendrick all throughout the lawsuit
suing Kendrick for Not Like Us. But in order to not sue Kendrick directly, he's just going to sue UMG over defamation. Drake is clearing that up. For everyone who thinks like that, I'm fighting the man. The man, like, is a term for the industry. The oligarchs, like, yo, I'm fighting the man. Yeah. It's not about Kendrick.
I'm back in your city tonight, walking around my head high.
Here, Drake is saying, hey, I'm in LA. I'm all throughout California, Southern California, with my head high. Meanwhile, when Kendrick was in Toronto, he got up out of there quickly. Again, this is something that Drake references a couple times on Iceman. The fact that, yeah, Kendrick came to Toronto, but left quickly with a huge police escort. And he's kind of jabbing him over that.
I'm gonna show you what to do, little. Hey, I'm gonna show you what to do, little boy.
This is from Too Hard for the Radio. So this is Drake's attempt at the West Coast record. But instead of going for the LA sound, like we heard on Not Like Us, Drake goes for the Bay Area sound. Yeah, I mean, and even the LA sound, it's still pretty influenced by the Bay Area. Drake has short jokes for Kendrick for days, so you'll often hear him call him little boy, little guy, this and that.
You put that jacket on anybody, your funeral bound.
And on the song Make Them Remember, this is where a huge percentage of the disses from Iceman are on. This on this one song. Drake is talking about having this keto jacket put on him.
A booster seat for your sales and the lies that you tell.
He's still making short jokes. Hey, a booster seat for your sales. Basically saying, oh, you're making pedo jokes to boost your sales. That's kind of like a low life thing to do. And it's also a short joke, you know, booster seats, car seats. Basically saying Kendrick Lamar is so small, he should be sitting in the booster seat.
And all summer pedal bars going #1, and yet y'all trying to tell me who's gonna who.
You can see here Drake is referencing Not Like Us again, saying y'all was riding all summer to pedo bars to a song calling the guy a pedo. Yet I'm supposed to be the groomer. Like, he's trying to turn it on the audience here.
A Billboard #1, man, whoop-de-doo. They rigging the game because you fighting the biggest artist.
So Drake is still holding true to this point that the industry is being rigged against us. So he's saying, yo, F a Billboard chart, because obviously you need the industry's help.
I miss this Drake, this baby Drake. You know, he was more chill. Now he got such a chip on his shoulder. I mean, obviously after the beef, you can say rightfully so. But yeah, I just feel like Drake was just much more innocent and chill back then.
Chart that high on Billboard. I think in his heart, Drake kind of knows it's going to be tough because he sees himself as fighting the industry and they're fighting back against him. So he's saying, you know what, after Billboard charts, they're rigging the game. Then he references one of Kendrick's records, Rigor Mortis.
They trying to have me stuck in this position like rigor mortis.
Now, this is specifically a very interesting diss because I've never heard a rapper dissed in this way.
They only know your name in the bigger markets, never in the little markets.
But not the little markets, not the B markets or the C.
B markets, C markets, all of those is D markets.
C markets, all of those are D markets. D, those are my markets. D for Drake, right? So it's interesting because Drake is saying, like, yeah, you're known in the United States, in the UK, in Europe, those big markets. But what about Cambodia? What about Belarus? The Philippines? Drake is kind of bragging on having smaller markets. Usually you'll see that diss flip the other way. Like, yeah, you're only known in small markets, I'm known in big markets. But, you know, Drake flips it the other way.
God twist, the owl never sees the cage. The owl only wakes up and sees the day.
Now, this bar is directly referencing the Not Like Us music video, where Kendrick Lamar has the owl in the cage, owl being OVO's record label logo. And then we have some more direct rebuttals of Not Like Us.
Talking about hiding the Bible, maybe I should read a page.
On that song, Kendrick Lamar says,
Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching.
Drake literally directly rebuts the line.
Talking about hiding the Bible, maybe I should read a page.
Y'all talking about hiding the Bible? Well, you should read a page of it. And Drake goes on to accuse Kendrick of blasphemy.
The blasphemy you talk, let me know that your amazing grace gon' be delayed.
Okay, you can't stop it. I don't think that's the best way to come with somebody. Well, you need to go talk to God. I'm trying to be more religious and more like that doesn't even apply in this case because everybody's petty here and everybody's going low to hell.
This is
crosses on their necks thinking Jesus saves.
Crown of thorns that he wore for performances portraying Jesus. He's saying like, yo, you're pretty blasphemous. You're talking about the Bible and all this. Well, you should read it because if you did, you wouldn't be doing these certain things.
I wanna wipe that little smug look right off of your face.
I do think this bar here is very funny because Drake delivers the bar like he's just still so pissed about it. Like, man, I want to wipe that smug little smile off of your face. I can only assume the smile that Drake is talking about is when Kendrick Lamar was at the Super Bowl halftime show performing Not Like Us, and then he looks right at the camera, says, "Say Drake, I heard you like me up." The past several bars have been from the same song, so yeah, a lot of disses front loaded on this song.
You boys too like double dates, running out the 6 like you want to race.
You running out the 6 like you run a race. So again, this is one of the references to Kendrick performing Not Like Us in Toronto, getting a police escort right.
Some of these bars, it's like I said, I mentioned this on my album reaction on Patreon. I'm like, these are just such Drake bars. This is such a Drake bar. You too pussy like double dates. It's two pussies like, alright. Sometimes it gets to a point where it's like, okay. You know, I'm not saying it's a bad bar, you know, necessarily, but it's just like, it's just such a Drake bar, if that makes sense. So where it's like, where it's a little corny, but it's like, alright, it's still a little clever, but it's still just like, I don't know, it's giving, I don't know, a light skin bar.
Right out of Toronto, immediately after the show.
And Monkey Boat's done for once, even I'm a bit amazed. Yeah, someone get a kid a raise.
So this is probably the most potent diss to Kendrick on this Iceman album. Muggsy Bogues dunked for once, I'm a bit amazed. Yeah, someone give the kid a raise. He knows that Kendrick had a hit record. He knows he lost that battle. He knows what Not Like Us did. So he acknowledges it. Yeah, Kendrick, you got to dunk. But at the same time, he's kind of downplaying it. Like, yeah, Kendrick, you got to dunk, but even Muggsy Bogues dunked. Muggsy Bogues being probably the shortest NBA player of all time. Muggsy Bogues had to be like, what, 5'3", 5'4". So on one hand, it's a short joke, another short joke, one of many short jokes at Kendrick. But on the other hand, Drake mentions Muggsy Bogues dunking because he's comparing it to Kendrick beating him in a battle. Like, yo, what you did was an anomaly. It's a statistical anomaly. If we ran that battle back 100 times, Drake is looking at it like, yo, I would win 99 times. What you did was an anomaly, like Muggsy Bogues dunking. But congrats anyway, like he still dunked, right? And then to end the song, Drake goes,
what is it, the braids? Even when I cut him, I could never fade. I mean, it's Drizzy Drake.
He directly rebuttals for you.
Got shit twisted. What is it, the braids?
What is it, the braids? And it's a little wordplay. Even if I cut the braids, I could never fade.
No, that shit was.
Fade, haircut, but
Euphoria
also
was heat. Let me add that back to my rotation.
Then you will never
reminded
fade,
me.
y'all, never fading away.
And y'all are talking about me having better perspective on life doing DMT.
It's on this song Firm Friends where Drake rebuttals a line from Meet the Grams.
But I suggest some ayahuasca, strip the ego from the bottom.
Kendrick tells him, yo, you should do ayahuasca. Basically, you should do some drug that allows you to self-observe, self-actualize yourself. Drake is actually taking the responsible father route. Basically, I'm out being a great father. Meanwhile, you guys are talking about, oh, I should be doing drugs and DMT. Yo, I don't have time for that. It's an interesting angle to take because Drake has so often been dissed for being, I guess, a bad or an absent father.
You are hiding a child. Let that boy come home. That's some underage, but I can see you don't know nothing about that.
But here he takes the opposite route. Like, yo, I'm hanging out with my son. We chilling. We doing cool stuff. But y'all talking about I need to be doing drugs.
I'm going back to Cali. I'm sleeping with death on my mind. Cause of shots that I caught in my time.
Here, Drake quotes Biggie, I'm going back to Cali.
I'm going back to Cali.
And LL Cool J. Biggie and LL Cool J both had those records, I'm going back to Cali. I thought it would be cool to Drake if he remixed I'm going back to Cali. That would have been dope. Because that's what Biggie did after his beef with Tupac. He dropped I'm going back to Cali, and everybody in Cali loved it. That was like his West Coast record, and we loved it. Right? But he didn't do that. But he quotes it. He says, I'm back in Cali. I'm sleeping with death on my mind because the shots that I called in my time. Here he gets a little dark. He's like, yeah, I'm back in Cali where Kendrick Lamar is from, but he's thinking death because of what he's done to other people. He feels that the other side might try to do it to him because he's in op land, California op. He probably looks at his op land, right? And then lastly, on the song Make Them Know.
They say they got classes, if it that you never revisited.
Drake rebuts a line from Euphoria where Kendrick goes, next rapper to catch shots on Iceman is none other than the last third of the big three, J. Cole.
Me, I stood 10 T's and accepted the mission, cause I much rather death than submission.
Now these bars from the song Make Them Pay are very telling. I stood 10 toes. I accepted the mission, cause I much rather death than submission. But obviously at this point, everyone knows about J. Cole's infamous apology to Kendrick Lamar on stage at his concert.
How many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest of ever time? That was the lamest movie of shit, and it made me feel like 10 years ago.
He backs out of the battle. He takes back his diss record. He deletes his diss record from the Might Delete Later album. Drake calls that submission. Drake says, hell, I would rather get my head taken off by Kendrick Lamar than submit.
Which I respect. I've always respected.
How can you press the ignition and let some memories of the past affect your decision?
So Drake is calling it out. J. Cole, you stepped on the ignition. You pressed the ignition with the 7-minute drill record, dissing Kendrick Lamar, but then you backed out. Because you have memories of the past with Kendrick Lamar and all this good stuff, you let those memories affect your decision and pump the brakes on what you already had, what we already had planned.
I love you because of the history, but if we being real, I can never forget you.
I can never forgive you. So this is a little bit scathing because J. Cole is doing all these interviews after the Fall Off dropped, talking about how he still loves Drake. I mean, he wants to be friends.
He was like, yo, I didn't want to come down there and put you in a situation on that stage and say some shit that you would have to stand behind. And I'm like, thank you. Thank God that you did it because it left the space for me to receive what I was supposed to do.
J. Cole is still keeping a very friendly frame.
He is annoying.
With Drake. He's not saying really anything to
Well, shut up. Don't say nothing then.
In case they be friends again. He's leaving that door open. Drake flat out said,
Drake ain't fucking with you.
I would never forgive you.
Good.
And you never called me back, but destiny's written.
So this kind of corroborates what Maul was saying.
Tell the world why you had that conversation with Kendrick and then you never spoke to Drake again. Till this day, has never spoke to Drake again.
Based on what Maul from the Rory and Maul podcast said, and based on what Drake is saying, there was some phone call that Drake sent to J. Cole that never got responded to. And that seems to be a big issue of why Drake is pissed at him.
Fuck a big three anyway, there was too many chefs in the kitchen and it was a mess to begin with.
So we've come full 360.
See, I didn't know that backstory. Interesting. Fuck out of here, Cole.
Catalyst of this Kendrick and Drake beef was Kendrick going on the Future song like that.
The big three. Nigga, it's just big me.
We've come full circle. And now Drake has realized, yeah, Kendrick was right. F the big three. It was a mess anyways, man. Drake also jabs at J. Cole by saying,
I could have fell back like the married rapper, but we engaged. I told y'all I'm settled in my evil way.
This is what I caught the next time I listened to it. This wasn't on the music video that I reacted to.
It's basically saying we engaged in the battle with Kendrick, whereas J. Cole, who was the married rapper here, fell back. We know this is about J. Cole because in the very next bar, Drake says,
I told y'all I'm settled in my evil ways.
I'm settled in my evil ways. Drake and J. Cole have a song together called Evil Ways.
I'm the golden goose shaking things up at Lucian's house.
So this is a more subtle shot at J. Cole. Drake says, I'm the golden goose shaking things up at Lucian's house. On J. Cole's recent mixtape, Birthday Blizzard, he had a line that seemed directed at Drake where he says,
For crumbs, dumb niggas so they sold a Lucian.
I said this, but people want to act like I'm crazy. I said he took several shots at Drake on this mixtape, but oh no, they cool, they brothers, blah blah. No.
So the song is called Golden Goose, and the line itself is about Lucian Grange. Then we have Drake here reaffirming, yeah, I'm the Golden Goose, and mentioning Lucian Grange in that same bar. Now, A$AP Rocky has been catching nasty strays from Drake. Like,
we share women that are already at the height of my success.
So Drake just continually holds the fact that he and Rihanna had a thing over A$AP Rocky's head. Obviously, A$AP Rocky and Rihanna, they are an item currently, but Drake just kind of seems to keep holding that over his head because A$AP Rocky often will bring up the fact that he had a thing with Drake's baby mom.
Smash before you birth, son. Flacco hit it first, son.
It was like these two guys have history with each other's baby moms in the past, and they just keep taunting each other over it.
Yo, baby mama ain't even post a single damn.
I did not know he said this, that your baby mama ain't post your single.
So Burning Bridges.
I thought he said something about she ain't got no, she hasn't posted like on the gram, and she ain't got no signal. Like he can't pick up where she at. Like, oh, where she at? You can't find her. That's what I thought he said. I didn't know he said single.
It's essentially just an entire A$AP Rocky diss. The whole song seems to be about, yo, A$AP Rocky, I don't like you, but I'm never burning bridges with your baby mom, Rihanna.
But I still got love for your missus and a sister. We can't burn them bridges.
Like he's like leaving the door open for Rihanna. It's pretty damn cryptic, like I still love your baby moms and all this. And Drake opens the verse by telling A$AP Rocky, hey, look in the mirror and see what talking gets you. So basically Drake is saying like, yo, you need to stop talking about me. You got cut up, stabbed last time you was talking about somebody. So maybe you should just chill.
You saw my brother, you was trying to fix it. Now you drop your album and you back this.
I know
A$AP Rocky dropped an album earlier this year. There were a couple bars on A$AP Rocky's Don't Be Dumb album that could be construed as disses to Drake.
Stay my flow, so I stole your bitch.
Drake is basically like, yeah, I caught that, and you want to put a little couple diss bars in here? Well, I got a song for you and your chick right here.
Cause Drake, nobody's ever said Drake took A$AP flow, so it's like I didn't think he was talking about Drake.
I'm effing up power couples. So that's from the song Too Hard from the Radio. This could apply to either A$AP Rocky or Pusha T. It's that last bar that has me thinking that it's more so about Pusha T.
Not the Epstein.
And like your name was redacted, which Pusha T was briefly mentioned in that whole fiasco, right?
Nigga, KYSASAP, that's some shit that you could do for me.
I mean, this one is just pretty self-explanatory. KYSASAP. Yourself, A$AP. Do I even need to break this down? So this is from the song Firm Friends.
I did not break up a happy home, baby, you pulled up on me.
He says, I did not break up a happy home. Girl, you came to me.
Tell him why you really hate me and what year did she date me.
So again, to me, this just appears to be Drake mocking A$AP Rocky, saying the same thing virtually that they've been saying back and forth to each other. Hey, I slept with your baby mom before you did. Oh, well, I slept with your baby mom before you did. So LeBron James actually catches a good amount of strays on Iceman simply for appearing at Kendrick Lamar's pop-out show where Kendrick Lamar performed Not Like Us, 5-6 times. Drake did not take kindly to that.
Was a beater. Don't be suddenly eager to hit me up and have no discussions either.
Don't make us hit another buzzer beater. And don't be suddenly eager to hit me up and have no discussions either. So this could apply to either LeBron James or DeMar DeRozan, who both caught strays for the same reason, appearing at Kendrick Lamar's pop-out show.
I saw bro in the pop-out with them, but Brian Gaines his hairline.
So this bar from What Did I Miss, it just presses on Drake's actual issue of these guys showing up at the pop-out show, whether it's LeBron James or DeMar DeRozan. He didn't take kindly to that. He feels they shouldn't have shown up at all. Obviously, Drake feels like he and LeBron and he and DeMar DeRozan's relationships were stronger friendships to where they wouldn't even consider doing something like that.
I shouldn't even be shocked to see you in that arena. You always made your career off of switching teams up.
I think this is a great diss also. I shouldn't be shocked to see you in that pop-out arena because you made your career off switching teams up. So we know that LeBron James, he infamously left the Cleveland Cavaliers to join the Miami Heat to win the championship. Then he left the Heat to go back to the Cavaliers. Then he left the Cavs again to go to the Lakers. So Drake is like, hey, I'm not surprised you switched up on me. You've been switching up your entire NBA career.
Please stop asking about what's going on with 23andMe. I'm a real and he's not.
I do like this 23andMe bar.
It's in my DNA.
23andMe, they're like a DNA company. Drake ties the bar together by saying like, yo, LeBron, he's not real. I'm real. It's in my DNA.
This is what I use for my ancestry results too, by the way. So I was like, oh, okay, I see that. That's a pretty hard bar.
Hey, what happened between 23andMe? LeBron James wears the number 23. And DeMar DeRozan actually gets a huge brunt of disses on the song National Treasures.
Send him a sack 'cause I wanted you shit to the king.
So DeMar DeRozan currently plays in Sacramento for the Kings. So that's the Sac and the King reference there. Double entendre.
We must have been dealing in spur of the moment. Why do we think you could get us a ring?
We must have been dealing in spur of the moment. Because why did we think you could get us a ring? So this is some NBA talk. DeMar DeRozan used to play for the Toronto Raptors. They were good, but not great. They never won a championship with DeMar DeRozan on the team. It was only after the Toronto Raptors shipped DeMar DeRozan away and picked up Kawhi Leonard that they won a championship.
The Toronto Raptors are a college sports team, I promise you. I love this team, and we're going to the NBA Finals. Let's go!
G-Pop sent us a real one from Dago, and next thing we knew, we was born parades.
G-Pop sent us a real one from Dago. G-Pop is the coach of the Spurs, who Drake mentions earlier in the verse. The real one from Dago is Kawhi Leonard, who I mentioned earlier. And the next thing we know, we was doing parades. So yeah, Drake is talking about DeRozan, you wasn't that good. Once we traded you for Kawhi Leonard, we immediately won a championship. You're a bum. That's basically what he's saying here.
Go to the hotel right after your game. Stick around at 6.
Now these are a little bit cryptic bars. He's saying go to the hotel right after your game. Don't stick around the 6. So there was that time where DeMar DeRozan returned to Toronto and Drake was there.
Yes, if you ever put a DeRozan banner up, I'll go up there and pull it down myself. That's the answer to your question.
It seems that Drake is hinting at, yo, you should not come outside in Toronto. I've got something planned for you. Right after your game, go straight to the hotel. And after you leave your hotel, go straight to the airport, like Kendrick did. Do not stick around. Even Jay-Z caught some strays on this Iceman album.
My niggas run the phone soon as you check in the prison.
So this is from the song Make Them Pay.
Your niggas run and talk the whole for a second opinion.
Drake is saying like, yo, my guys are thoroughbreds. My guys go to prison, they run the phones, they run the TVs. Basically, they're those guys in prison. They're leaders in prison. Meanwhile, your guys are asking Jay-Z for second opinions. So he's looking at Jay-Z like your opinion isn't worth anything. Like, why would you ask Jay-Z for his opinion on stuff? My guys are leaders, my guys do this. Your guys is getting advice from Jay-Z. He's looking at Jay-Z like he's a peon.
I take $500K not a dinner. I never could learn from none of y'all.
And that's echoed by this bar from Whisper My Name where Drake says, yo, I'll take $500K over to dinner with Jay-Z.
I've been saying that.
Meme that people used to say.
Exactly.
Yo, would you take
$500K all day?
Or would you take
dumb.
dinner with Jay-Z? And then some people for real seriously would answer, well, I'll take dinner with Jay-Z over $500,000. If I have dinner with Jay-Z, I can ask him about business. I can pick his brain about business.
You can Google the same things. Research it yourself. You can research anything. Give me the money.
People used to say that. So Drake is playing off of that meme, like, yo, I'm taking $500,000 over dinner with Jay-Z, because Jay-Z can't teach me nothing. And there's also the island hopping bar from Too Hard for the Radio.
Damn, y'all was really island hopping back then. Now your names got redacted.
We mentioned earlier that I think could be about Pusha T or Jay-Z. Their names were kind of surrounding the Epstein files. So yeah, Pusha T, the Clips, they infamously had to buy their way out of their record deal.
Difference between niggas getting you out of your deal and letting you out of your deal.
No, he had to pay. He had to pay.
Meanwhile, Drake is getting out of his record deal by, I guess, dropping albums, suing the label. Drake's saying like, yo, there's a difference. I'm getting out of my deal. They are letting you out of your deal. There's a difference.
Against your will, how many new names do you got on your will?
Against your will, how many new names you got on your will? So I think this could apply to Kendrick also as a diss, either Pusha T or Kendrick. Drake is talking about extortion to a degree. You know, Kendrick left the TDE deal and went to PG Lane, but then the Clips also spoke about getting out of their deal. So that's why I think it could apply to either Kendrick or the Clips. So what Drake is hinting at is, like, what did you have to do to get out of that deal? For real, for real. Did you have to add one of them guys, one of them executives to your will? Do they get points on your next couple albums? Like what was the deal y'all struck up? Because I'm sure it was terrible.
I got all the chains that they ever repped in Virginia.
So this one is a shot at Pharrell. In the Family Matters video, Drake has a bunch of
Yeah, when I read to this, I was like, he's still talking about
chains that he bought at an auction. Drake has been trying to mock Pharrell with these chains. I mean, Pharrell put the chains up for auction. He didn't want them anymore. Drake thinks it's a thing to mock Pharrell. Like, yeah, I bought your chains. I got your prized possessions.
I got niggas prized possessions. I get possessive on niggas.
This is from the song Firm Friends.
I know niggas going crazy as I cop all the items you niggas put up for sale.
And here, Drake is continuing to talk about those items that he bought.
I already talked about this. I remember I reacted to a video where they broke this down, and I'm like, is this really a shot at Pharrell? Because he sold them and you bought them, but he wanted to sell them. Drake talking like he stole them from Pharrell or something, like he robbed him. Like that's not what happened. He sold and he wanted somebody to buy him, and then you bought him. So how is that? How is that shady?
At an auction. You know, I think if I put items up for auction, I would be happy that we had a buyer. But
Hello?
Drake is thinking of it like, I'm the last person they would want to have their
I don't think he cares. If I sell something, my biggest ops can buy the things that I'm selling. I don't care. I don't want it anymore. That's why I'm selling it. You didn't steal it from me. You bought it from me, and I got your money in exchange. Like I always thought that was stupid, but whatever.
I think they're happy that someone bought it. I think Kanye West got a couple of strays on Iceman also.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. Economy, I bet I know who I see.
He said, if I'm lying, I'm flying. So that's a play on the phrase, oh, if I'm lying, I'm dying. But then some people say, oh, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Drake takes it another step and says, yo, if I'm lying, I'm flying economy. Basically saying, yo, I'll never fly economy. I'm a business class dude. I'm a private jet, first class dude. He's taking jabs at Kanye West, who was allegedly seen flying economy with his girlfriend Bianca. And on the song Ran to Atlanta.
Boys losing it and you need to take meds. Hey.
Drake says, yo, you boys need to take your meds. Who is the rapper that's famously on medications? I'm sure a lot of people are on medications. There's a lot of mental health issues going around. But Kanye West is kind of the one who's taking that mantle. Like, you know, I'm bipolar, this and that. Drake is like, bro, he needs to take his meds. Tell him to stop talking about me. The Weeknd has actually been in Drake's crosshairs for a while.
Boy, better be ready and able. I'm coming.
On the song Plot Twist, Drake seems to be describing this very cryptic, very dark event that happened where he and his team approached somebody and things happened, right? But in this song specifically, Drake says, you better be ready and able, because I'm coming. The Weeknd's real name is what? Abel Tesfaye. So Playboy Cardi also caught a stray, which could be connected to The Weeknd.
Baby boy, please. I heard what you said to little bro about me.
Why does Drake say Baby Boy? It's rumored that Playboy Cardi's next album will be titled Baby Boy. So he's directly referencing Playboy Cardi.
When you run into the office, man, what you gonna do is set free.
Playboy Cardi is in Drake's crosshairs. Why? He and Drake had worked together in the past, but then here comes Playboy Cardi on his last album, Music. He's got 3 Kendrick Lamar. Anyone else who normally links to Kendrick is catching strays, except Future, right? This is the one person, I guess, that Drake doesn't want to fall out with.
You're not by the squeeze. You're not in the streets.
So I know a lot of people love Playboy Cardi. They love his music. Drake just looks at him like a peon. You're not from the streets. When you run into me, you aren't going to do anything. You don't know how to shoot a gun. You're not about that life.
Oh, I was Aiden Ross with streams before Aiden Ross had ever streamed.
I was Aiden Ross with streams before Aiden Ross ever streamed. So yeah, Aiden Ross is one of the most popular streamers, but it's a play on words. I was aiding Rick Ross with streams. Drake is basically referencing all the songs, all the hit records that he has with Rick Ross. I was helping you out with your records before Aiden Ross. I never streamed. This is just a nice little play on words. Rick Ross also gets dissed on What Did I Miss?
Get punched in the face with some TLC on a dead guy.
So there was that situation.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
I mean, this is right after his diss record towards Drake.
Some TLC because my gonna need a chili ice pack for your left eye.
Drake makes a TLC reference. You gonna need a chili ice pack for your left eye. You know, chili from TLC, Lisa Left Eye Lopez. DJ Khaled, of all people, catches a stray just for remaining silent.
And Kyle, you know what I mean. The beef was fully live. You went halal and got on your dean.
Just for not coming to Drake's help during a battle. Now, obviously, Khaled is very close to Rick Ross.
Get him.
But Khaled catches a very personal stray.
And your people are still waiting for a free Palestine.
Yep.
So to understand this, you have to keep in mind that Drake is Jewish and DJ Khaled is Palestinian.
But apparently everything is in black and white and red and green.
And just understand the situation going on in that region. Drake says the beef was live. I was battling with Kendrick, but Khaled, you chose to go halal. And basically, you don't want no beef. Drake takes it further, like, hey, we never heard you say free Palestine, DJ Khaled. Your people are still waiting on you to say free Palestine. But I guess for you, it's not that important. It is a very personal diss, considering what's going on in that region, and also considering the context of Drake being Jewish and Khaled being Palestinian. Probably one of the more personal shots on this entire album. DJ Mustard even caught a stray on the song Too Hard for the Radio.
Mustard heard about us, gotta count to the slash. Yeah, wasn't me and YG rap.
He says Mustard ain't had a hit since me and YG rap. Drake is referencing the song Who Do You Love? YG featuring Drake, produced by DJ Mustard, and it was a hit record.
City, bitch, we remember that. Damn, you trying to get back to that.
He's saying like, yo, Rack City, remember those songs, Mustard, that you did 10, 15 years ago? You should get back to making songs like that because you don't have any hits recently. DJ Mustard is catching a stray because he produced Not Like Us. Dr. Dre even catches a stray because he was at the Pop Out show and he helped Kendrick Lamar open the song Not Like Us.
I see. If Drake took out the AK, maybe he'd be in jail. Just based off the name that it spells.
Drake is looking at Dr. Dre and Kendrick like, hey, how are y'all accusing me of evil acts when you got Dr. Dre on stage with you, who has been accused of many more evil acts?
They got special places in hell for niggas joking about evil when they did it themselves.
And he picked me up, lifted me up off the ground. By your hair. By my hair. Slammed up against the brick wall. He continued to assault me in the women's restroom. You sexually assaulted? I'm not comfortable talking about everything right now.
He's trying to point out this hypocrisy with quote-unquote that side. Lucian Grange, Dr. Dre, Kendrick.
Yeah, that is something that gets brushed under the rug, how horrible Dr. Dre was. I mean, there are many, many men in the industry who have been absolutely just terrible people. And, you know, because they are legends and they have been in the industry for so long, people tend to, you know, forget. But yeah, I ain't never forgot.
Lamar. And lastly, Joe Budden catches a nasty stray.
Who knows which one of his bubble-shaped things I must have ushered through the double gates.
Drake and Joe Budden have this thing where they date the same girls, or Drake is cracking the girls that Joe Budden is talking to. And over the years, Drake just taunts Joe Budden about it. He's like mocking him.
Showed the time of a life while broski having stomach aches, hearing about good times at Lovers Lake.
Like, yo, I had your girl out there swimming with dolphins. She was having a time of her life. Meanwhile, you back in Newark, New Jersey, sick, stomach aches.
And send it back to you while you sleepwalking naked in another state.
He mentions Joe Budden's sleepwalking incident. I'll let Joe Budden speak on that himself.
That's the door that I decided to sleepwalk butt-ass naked.
You'll let us see another day. And even if you don't, it's just another day.
Then he goes on to basically say, Joe Budden, your life is completely worthless. This whole little scheme is set up by Drake saying like, yo, I had your girl. We was loving on each other. You was sick. Then he goes, oh, but it's okay. You'll live to see another day, though. But even if you don't live to see another day, it's just another day. No one would even care if you died. It's crazy unnecessarily mean, right? But yeah, anyway, those are all the shots on the Iceman album.
He missed a few, but I mean, this is the bulk of it. This is the gist of it. And I mean, this was expected. So many people took shots at Drake, you know, during the beef. So, you know, it's only right that he comes out and have his own disses towards these people, because some of them did actually do him kind of dirty, you know. I mean, we're not gonna act like they didn't. Like, come on, LeBron, that was unnecessary. I mean, this man got you tatted on him, and this is what you do. Like, LeBron, he wasn't shit. And I've said this before many times. So some of these people definitely deserve these disses. Joe Budden been on his head forever, so he deserved a diss. And of course, he's gonna come back Kendrick and Cole, so, you know, I was not surprised at all. But yeah, solid album. I'm continuing to listen to Iceman, and I do thoroughly enjoy it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. I've reacted to it on Patreon. Check it out. Link down below. Support your girl on Patreon. Anyway, though, y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.